Hi everyone. Today Mrs. McPhail and I, Mrs. Gonzalez, are here to talk to you about number models with parentheses. Our objective, I can solve number models with parentheses.
Okay, don't let the parentheses scare you. And by the way, these are the parentheses. There's two of them. There's one that's the open one and one that's the closed one. So here we go. The cool thing about parentheses, and the most important thing to remember, is that they tell us what parts of the number model to do first. So you all remember number models. This would be an example of one. And the only difference this time is that we have these little parentheses in here. So if you look at these two problems down below, you will notice that they have the exact same numbers. For example, without the parentheses, it would read 25 minus 8 plus 7 is equal to what? Same thing down here. Watch what happens though, Mrs. Gonzalez.
Okay, I'm watching.
When we have those parentheses in here. 25 minus 8, which I know can't take from 5, so I got to borrow. 8 from 15 would be 7, and drop the 1 would be 17. So 17, I'm just going to write my 17 above the parentheses to keep track of my work. So 17 plus 7 is equal to 24. So that would be my answer for the top row. Watch what happens in the bottom row. I'm going to do my work in the parentheses first because the parentheses are kind of bossy and they say, do our work first.
Oh my gosh, even though they're at the very end of the problem, I have to do them first?
Yes, even though they're at the very end of the problem. It doesn't matter if they're all the way down here or in Antarctica. You just do them first.
Okay.
So here we go. Do them first. 8 plus 7 is 15. Notice how I wrote my number right below my parentheses. That's just a good method of keeping track of your work. Now I have 25, so I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning. 25 minus 15. And if you can't do that in your head, that's okay. I'm just going to do it on the side over here. We know that 5 from 5 is 0, and 1 from 2 is 1. So my answer would be 10. Now, Mrs. Gonzalez, do you notice that I have the exact same numbers, like I said, in both of these problems, but because of where the parentheses were placed and what I had to do work, look at the difference in my answers.
Oh my gosh, the first one is 24, but the second one is 10.
Right.
Even though I have 25, 8, and 7 both times.
Right, exactly.
I guess that means those parentheses are super important.
They are so important and so bossy.
Okay.
All right, guys, we need you to take out your math notebooks and solve these problems with us. So the first thing you're going to write down is write 20 minus, in parentheses, 7 plus 2, close the parentheses, is equal to, and we're going to solve these together. So remember, the parentheses are bossy, and they're so important. You have to do what is ever inside first, all right? Or else. I don't know what else. Or else. So in this case, our parentheses, 7 plus 2, that's equal to 9. I'm going to write my answer above. Now let's go all the way back to our beginning because we have some leftover values or digits over here. Or numbers, I should say. 20 minus 9 is equal to 11. So that would be our first one. Ready for another one. If you need to pause this at any point to catch up or even just rewind and take another look at it, that is just fine. Mrs. G, you up for the next one?
Sure, I can give this one a try. Ooh, I see multiplication in this one.
Ooh, I like multiplication.
Okay, so I have to do what's in the parentheses first. So I'm going to do 17, take away 8, and that is 9. So I'm going to write that up here. And now I'm going to take this 9. I'm going to pretend that this doesn't even exist anymore. I'm just actually going to put a line right through it.
I think that's a great idea.
And now I'm going to take this 9 and multiply right here times 3. 3 9s are equal to 27. All right, Mrs. McPhail?
It's kind of like being a detective now. We have to add parentheses now, friends, to make these sentences below true, okay? So once again, I want you to pretend that this page is like divided in half. We're going to do these first and these second. So notice, like just like that first problem, that first page that we showed you, the numbers are the same. We have a 32, a 5, and a 7, and we even have the same sign. So 32 minus 5 plus 7. But you can see that our answers are different because, remember, it's all based on where we put those parentheses. So how would I go about figuring out where these are going to go?
Well, sometimes, Mrs. McPhail, I just draw them in and
Okay.
try it.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, I erase them because we use pencil in math, so I can do that. I
Yeah.
erase them and then I just move them around
That's a
until
great
it works
idea.
out.
Okay, so we should just try that. So I don't know, and it's okay to do, guess and check in math. Let's just try putting a parentheses around 32, and I know I need two numbers inside, at least for right now. So I'm going to do 32 minus 5, and I know, let's see, 31, 30, 29. I know that that's 27. Okay. Plus 7. That doesn't work. Okay, so Mrs. G, that was wrong.
Okay, well, that's okay.
That's
we
okay.
can just erase and put them somewhere else.
So I have these numbers down here, so I bet I could do 5 plus 7,
Great idea.
okay, is 12. Now, 32 minus 12. Oh, that's equal to 20.
It is, because
Oh.
12 is really a 10 and a 2.
Mhm.
So if I do 32 minus 10, that gets me down to 22.
You're
and then I
right.
just take off 2 more, and I'm
Oh.
down to 20.
That's so easy. I'm not so afraid of them anymore.
All right.
Down here you can see, if you remember from before, when I had 32 minus 5, that was equal to 27. Plus 7 would get me 34. So that's where the parentheses would go there. Let's take a look at the other side. Same thing. It's okay to do guess and check. We use pencil in math, so this is okay to do some trial and error. 45 and 2. But this time we have the same answer, which I don't know how that happened, Mrs. Gonzalez. So I'm just going to make a really quick switch here.
Okay, go for it.
If I can make a switch here. Tricky problem for you. Okay. So we need to find out how this got to 30. So let's try putting parentheses around 4 minus 5.
40 minus 5, you mean?
40 minus 5. I'm sorry. Thanks for catching me. That would be 35. And 35 times 2. Well, I know that times 2 would be double, right, Mrs. G?
That's right.
So if I were to double 35, that would get me to 5 plus 5 is 70. Sorry, 10. And 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 3 is 70. So it's definitely not the answer. So let's try putting parentheses around 5 and 2. So 5 times 2, remember doing the work in the parentheses first. Those parentheses are bossy. That's 10. If I have 2 5s, that gets me to 10. 40 minus 10. Oh, that gets me to 30.
Yep, good job.
So that must mean down here my parentheses have to go around 40 minus 5, which is 35.
I actually remember that from when you did it earlier.
Oh, yeah. And that would be 70. So
That's
there you
good.
go. Yeah. Easy peasy.
Is that it? Are we done for today?
I think that's all for today.
All right. Sounds good. We'll see you next time, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.